Welcome to another edition of Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast, with your host, Brandon Morrell.
Hi, it's Lee Newton, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Tune in to the show on iHeartRadio Podcast, Spotify, and the sportsguyspodcast.com, and at thwn.org.
And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. Of course, counting down those days. The CMA week is already busy out there building the schedule. KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. And, of course, some names are going to be with us there at CMA Fest 2026. Waka Flocka Flame, Tyler Farr, and a whole lot more hanging out with us there on the CMA docket at the Music City Center, June 4th to 7th. The live coverage there, all the interviews, iHeartRadio, and, of course, Spotify, and out there at the Sports Guys podcast. .com, a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. So the goal now is just push out as many shows as possible over the next few days. And she's got a brand new record out, and I always love learning about new artists here on the show. Beautifully Undone, the acoustic version out there. Lee Newton to the Backstage Pass. Lee, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Brandon. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, it's crazy to say, like, we just finished CRS. I did like 6 of those, and we're getting on top of this CMA Fest here. Just in a couple of weeks. It comes up on you fast, doesn't it?
It does. I'm so excited. I've not got to announce it yet, but I'll get to be there this year. This is my first year, so I'm so excited.
All right. What's the plans as far as what you can tell us? I know artists are still kind of putting together the schedules that sometimes don't overstay the schedules, but it's kind of nice to really just enjoy it out there. But also you got the meet and greets and all the signings and playing some stages. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I've got several shows, big shows coming up, opening for Diamond Rio. And then I'll go the next week, June 5th or June 6th, and open for Confederate Railroad in Georgia. But then the next day I will be heading to Nashville on that June 7th, be there early in the morning for CMA Fest and stuff. So I'll get to do autograph signing, and I'm not sure exactly what booth I'll be in yet, but I know that'll be coming out pretty soon, to where I can let everybody know that. And I'm just super excited. I've got so much planned for that whole week, and tons of different shows and events, and I'm going to be on Eric Dahl on that Wednesday, so that'll be pretty cool with the Rockin' Reviews. So a lot coming up.
It's a busy week, no doubt, too. And that's why I always tell people, like, if you want the exclusive coverage, from us and all the different outlets that go there, you tune in, because you'll get easily between 60 and 100 interviews that I will do by the time it's all over in the 4 days. It's a lot.
You're going to need a vacation, Brandon.
Yeah. When I come back, I end up taking like 2 to 3 weeks off and not doing anything with the show. And some people say, well, that's a lie. You'll keep doing it. I'm like, no, it'll be enough to break up the interviews you collect and then put them up on the different outlets that we're on too. So it's going to be, vacation is definitely something that it's not CMA Fest. It comes after the event is over there too. Hey, talk about your background as far as a lot of things that you've had, your hands in and out there too, but becoming an artist, and never an easy thing to do with as much talent as there is out there today. Just talk about the backstory and how you got involved, and how you kind of knew this was something that was going to stick for you.
Yeah, I mean, I knew from very early on. My dad was a cab driver, and I'd go ride around with him in the taxi cab at the and it was right there at the paper mill, and where I grew up. And I would sit on the front steps with him at the cab stand, and he got his guitar and started teaching me how to play one day. And that was just something that him and I did a lot especially during the summer. So as time went on, though, he passed away when I was 11. And when I got in high school is when I first did my first solo. I got picked to do a Lori Morgan song on stage in front of an audience. And I had sang in church and stuff, but I had never been on a stage and performed before. But when I did that, I knew right then and there, at 14 years old, there was nothing else I wanted to do. I loved it.
Yeah, it seems like you've got a little influence of that 90s country kind of flavor there too. For me, that was like the the attitude era for wrestling too. I say sometimes because there'll never be another type of era there. 80s and 90s country. Huge fan. Were you?
Oh, huge, huge. Of course, my first cassette that I ever got, my daddy gave me was Patsy Cline. Listen to Hank Williams, but as I grew, like 9, 10 years old, when I was in that singing stage, I loved the Judds. I loved Lori Morgan. And of course, as I grew a little bit older, I mean, then I loved, the Shania and Faith and all that. So it's been pretty cool to get to open for so many of the idols that I grew up listening to. Randy Travis and Ronnie Millsap and Sarah Evans, and just getting to be around them, and they were so amazing. I got to meet Lori twice and opened up for her in my hometown, so that was kind of
Mhm.
like a full circle moment when I got to actually do that in my hometown and get to tell her, hey, I opened, first song I ever sang on stage was your song. So
You mentioned that name, Lori Morgan. I've got a pretty cool story to tell you right now too, and this is how the interviews. You never know what direction they're going to go here too at the same time. But I was there in 2024. This is kind of funny, and it's a memory too at the same time. So a great story about to tell you. So 2024, I finished up. I think it was my first CMA Fest doing the media stuff out there, and I come home. A team member had called me back and said they'd always do that Keith Whitley tribute concert. Now they've moved it around
yeah,
over the past few years.
yeah.
2024 it was at the I can't remember, not Nashville Palace. It was another venue, and I'm going blank on it right now too. But it'll come to mind too when it does. But it went out there, and we're trying to find a place to set up. Well, it just so happened, Lori pulls in her tour bus and things like that, and then she gets up in there too. And of course, we couldn't find anywhere that was going to be like a soundproof thing. Put the headphones on, all that kind of stuff. Get the equipment out, set it all up. And so by the end of the night, how it happened, one of the team members went over and asked, could we end up broadcasting somewhere outside? I ended up broadcasting on Lori Morgan's tour bus and doing the radio show for the Keith Whitley tribute concert in the
Wow.
summer of 2024. So that's how nice she is. Yes.
That is cool. Yeah, she is super amazing, and she is one of my top influences of when I saw her up on stage, on TV. That's and she's so elegant and just beautiful and singing, and I was like, oh my god, that's what my daddy was talking about. That's that, I want to be a singer when I grow up, and her and Randy were super nice to me when I first got to meet them. I drove down to Panama, and they had the restaurant at that time, and went in. She
Mm-hmm.
signed my guitar and talked to me, and then later on I got to, like I said, got to do the show that she was on in my hometown. So I got to get on the bus with her, and she was just so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, I know Jesse Keith and all that.
Yep.
Jesse's awesome. But it's amazing at how the road takes you different places, and I've done this my whole life, I sang in a lot of cover bands. I took some time off to raise my kids, my older kids, and
Mm-hmm.
but I got to do some really cool stuff. I love Southern rock and
Mm-hmm.
too. And so I got to, in my 20s, I got to go to New York City and sing with 3 original members of Skinner. So that was pretty awesome to get to stand in between the original honkettes and sing those classic songs. So that was pretty awesome.
I loved it too. I remember that, and I believe it was in Tennessee. I'm still trying to think of that venue, but I know it was at Goodlettsville. Now it's coming to mind. The
Goodlettsville, yeah.
Patron Event Center. That's where it was in Goodlettsville.
Okay.
So they moved it, and I'm not sure they move it around every year, but that was the Patron Center
That's
is where that was.
awesome.
So we
Yeah,
definitely
no, I think they just got through having the golf tournament. I know that not long ago. It was like
yeah,
a week, two ago. Yeah.
something like that too on the timeline. Talk about this. I want to go into this song here too. We're going to play it here on the Backstage Pass. Your Hat, which is the acoustic version, and this beautifully undone acoustic. These songs that have come out, which is really kind of hits to the core. It's one thing to record it with a band, but it shows a separate side of you, and you're able to do this naturally and just kind of flawlessly with an acoustic sound. Talk about Your Hat specifically.
Yeah, Your Hat. I started writing that song, and it has the Keith Whitley reference in it
Mm-hmm.
because I love Keith Whitley, and I mean, who doesn't love Keith Whitley? And I am one of those people that when I write songs, I tend to almost kind of really write a lot of sad songs a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Or breaking up songs or something. It's just stuff that I went through. But Your Hat is probably one of the funnest love songs that I have written. And, it most definitely was. I'll tell you a funny story. So I wrote this before I met my husband, and I wrote it because it was kind of like the love that I wanted. I wanted the slow dances in the kitchen playing Keith Whitley, and I wanted to have that friendship and that love. And I've always heard, hey, he'll let you wear your hat, if he really loves you, sweatshirts, hats. And when I met my husband, he doesn't wear a hat at all. It's so funny. So he goes out and he buys me, he still to this day, he buys me, I don't know how many hats a year that I just have stacked up. But it's kind of a fun joke between us because he'll come home with a baseball cap. But yeah, it's just a fun love song. And it's another one of my favorites. So I had to include it on this album.
Driving down the road in my pickup truck, got a full tank of gas and I'm picking you up. Don't worry about a thing, just hop inside, 'cause I only want you sitting by my side. I know a place where we can go, it's just about a mile up an old dirt road. Things like this money can't buy. I've been wanting to tell you what's been on my mind. I wanna be the girl you come running home to when you've had a bad day. Slow dancing in the kitchen, playing Keith Whitley with a smile on your face. Some girls want a ring on their hand to know where his heart is at. But I know the day you gave me yours, you let me wear your hat. A love like this is hard to find, and I've been waiting on you all my life. You're not gonna slip through my hands, 'cause I know that you're a damn good man. When it's time to settle down, I only want you around. Never change who you are, I'm always gonna love your heart. I wanna be the girl you come running home to when you've had a bad day. Slow dancing in the kitchen, playing Keith Whitley with a smile on your face. Some girls want a ring on their hand to know where his heart is at. But I know the day you gave me yours, you let me wear your hat. Sitting on the tailgate of this rusty Ford, you're everything I wanted and more. I wanna be the girl you come running home to when you've had a bad day. Slow dancing in the kitchen, playing Keith Whitley with a smile on your face. Some girls want a ring on their hand to know where his heart is at. But I know the day you gave me yours, you let me wear your hat. Let me wear your hat.
Hey y'all, this is Nashville recording artist Sunny Sweeney, and you're listening to the best in music and sports, the award-nominated Backstage Past podcast on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Stream anytime on the sportsguyspodcast.com and on thwn.org. You can also listen anytime on iHeartRadio podcast.
Are you looking to increase your online presence? Are you searching for a new logo or company branding? Have you been considering more ways to reach the world with your business, ministry, or church's message? Barkley Music and Media is an award-winning design company that utilizes the latest technology while keeping the integrity of over 30 years of customer service. Web design, graphic design, multimedia, video editing, voiceover, commercials, logo design and branding, photography, and much, much more. See portfolios and testimonials online at www.barkleymusicandmedia.com or contact them today at 502-382-8299. Barkley Music and Media, your connection for the best in multimedia. Call today, 502-382-8299, or go to www.barkleymusicandmedia.com. Barkley Music and Media, integrity, technology, and design. www.barkleymusicandmedia.com.
Hey, it's Nate Smith, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio Podcast, Spotify, and on the sportsguyspodcast.com and at thwn.org.
When you go back in your catalog and you look at that first record, everybody always says, that's my babies, that's my songs, things like that out there too. Unleashed, let's go back to this one. And a lot of cool things and collaborations are coming together too on this particular record. A lot of them too on that one, including one with show favorites Leona Williams and Pam Tillis and Leroy Parnell. Talk about what you remember best about that particular record, and I'm sure still special today, right?
Yeah, the Unleashed album was just, oh my God, from the beginning to the very end of putting it together. It starts off with a recording of me when I was 7 years old singing with a guitar with my dad. And that's the only recording that I have of him and I together. So it kind of brings it in from that childhood, and every song on there, 9 out of 13 songs I wrote on that album. And each one of them, I had come from a domestic violence marriage. And so a lot of those songs are just very autobiographical. A lot of them goes back to my childhood and, Carolina, where I grew up, my dad, my mom, who are no longer here. It was just all about being unleashed, coming out of everything that I've went through unscathed it most definitely was a statement, and especially getting to do the working girl blues. That was truly incredible. Getting to work with Leona and Pam and Leroy, they were just top notch. And this little girl had never thought that I would have ever got to grow up and get to sing with Pam Tillis, because I had sang in hairbrushes to her songs since I was little. So it was pretty cool. It was a pretty surreal moment. And then of course winning album of the year for that one at the JMA Awards. And that was the first year they had it at the Grand Ole Opry. So that was pretty awesome to get to win for that.
Love it too. It's a great record out there too. And of course you can check out all these songs across your digital streaming platforms. The one that definitely pulled me into it, no doubt, because I love doing the show. You just learned about all the great talent out there too. And people you may have lost track or lost, in touch with for a time or two. Didn't mean you didn't listen to them for years past, but people always can kind of resurface. And I'll tell you this, as a new father, trust me, I know what it's like. I'm raising a 6-year-old, me and my wife now, a 6-year-old too. And it takes time to take off from the shows and do things like that to raise the kids and be a parent. Talk about Carolina Rain for me, because this one, being from a small town, obviously yourself, can really feel this song in a lot of different ways, because it kind of paints that picture in a lot of ways from a small town.
Most definitely. This song, even to this day, makes me tear up every time I perform it. I don't care where I'm at. Those words they just touch my heart so much that when I sing them, I literally will tear up and cry, especially when it gets to the part of, my little boy, tell me to hurry home, because I have a 9-year-old. He's getting ready to be 10. He goes out on the road with me a lot, but, there are some times where I have to leave him, and, coming back home after being on the road, this song and the video to it, filming the video was just truly one of those moments, because I got to include, places that in my hometown, include my family, my singing on stage and stuff. But this song, there's just something so special about it that even if you're not from Carolina, it's got that nostalgia sound to it and the words to it that I've had people even from Canada or England send me pictures. I'm listening to Carolina Rain as I'm walking through York, and but they love it. It gives them that sense of home, and I love that about songs, that songs can make you feel that, and Carolina Rain is up there at the very top of my favorites.
Smell my grandma's cooking at least a country mile away. And tears still fill my eyes every time I pass by Daddy's grave. Lord, it's good to be back home. Nothing on earth's quite the same. Just driving down these old familiar roads in the Carolina rain. Carolina rain. Lord, it's good to be back home again. Carolina rain, raining down on me like a long lost friend. Oh, the wind, she calls my name like the sound of a long lost train. Carolina rain. As I pass by that East Tobacco Road where my granddad used to crop, Lord, I'm glad to see it raining, 'cause those tobacco fields could sure use every drop. I've been all across this country, rocking and rolling like a rolling stone. When I cross that Carolina line, I hear my little boy say, Mama, hurry home. Carolina rain. Lord, it's good to be back home again. Carolina rain, raining down on me like a long lost friend. Oh, the wind, she calls my name like the sound of a long lost train. Carolina rain. And oh, the wind, she calls my name like the sound of a long lost train. The North Carolina rain.
Hello, it's Coey, and you're listening to Grand Slam of Music, Sports, and Entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio Podcasts, Spotify, and on the sportsguyspodcast.com and at thwn.org.
Is your home or business in need of a fresh look? Right Flow Pressure Washing and Lawn LLC is more than just pressure washing, providing professional cleaning for homes, commercial buildings, parking lots, roof cleaning, gutter cleaning, and so much more, including lawn service and landscaping. Our mission here at Right Flow is to exceed the needs of all our customers while providing all of our services at an affordable rate. We're committed to going above and beyond where the job is done right. Give your property the care it deserves. Call Right Flow today at 409-363-2565 or go to rightflowwashandlawn.com.
Hey guys, it's Sadie Bass, and you're listening to a grand slam of music, sports, and entertainment. It's the award-nominated Backstage Pass podcast with Brandon Morrell on KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area broadcasting network. Tune into the show on iHeartRadio Podcasts, Spotify, and on the sportsguyspodcast.com and at thwn.org.
I want to go back to the Crossroads record because mentioned collaborations, the norm. You're no stranger to it in this business, having done it with some of the best names in the industry, the biggest names out there, but one in particular because we just lost him
Oh,
in
yeah.
country music recently. Joe Bonsall, the Oak Ridge Boys, who are good friends of mine, good friends to the
Yeah.
program here too at the same time. In particular, how that one came together was one called "Just a Closer Walk," I believe was the name of that song.
Yeah.
And then just a lot of great things. I mean, you've got the Blue Queen of Bluegrass, Rhonda Benson is on there too. She's another good friend of the show. Notice it's a theme I'm saying here. A lot of these people we've had
Yes.
here
Hey.
on the show too, which is good. You got good taste in music, no doubt. And then Ben Isaacs is on there, Cash Newton. This was a great project.
It really was that the whole project. Like I said, I've always had this kind of theme of having like at the very beginning, it had my dad on there playing "I Saw the Light." Had this little recording where he recorded it from the cab stand, and then it goes into me and Rhonda singing "I Saw the Light" together, and every song has its own sound that really goes with each artist that was on there with me. T. Graham Brown, it was very bluesy, and Rhonda was bluegrass, and me and Ben Isaacs, which the video's getting ready to come out for it July 29th. But it was just me and a piano, very stripped down. It has my little boy on it. It has even my husband on there. We do more of the Merle style with One Day at a Time. But my favorite on the whole one was the one I did with Joe. And I had reached out to him. Him and the Oak Ridge Boys had always been so supportive of me. And so I had reached out to him on this song because I just felt led to ask him to sing it with me. Not that I didn't want the Oak Ridge Boys on there, but just their time schedules. And I just asked him, and I thought, I didn't even know that he would even do it. But he wrote me back and he was like, "Well, of course, Lee, I would be honored." And he drove down to the studio. This was right before that he couldn't drive anymore. And he came in, and my little boy was there, and my husband, and my little boy to this day just loved Joe so much. And but he truly made it a great experience recording. He even done a video for me on the way down there, talking about how excited he was to get to be on this album and this song with me, which just makes me tear up thinking about it, because he just was such an angel here on earth too. So he is very well missed, that's for sure.
No doubt. Miss him a lot too at the same time, and have talked to William Lee Golden many times here on the show, and several of the Oak Ridge Boys have been on here, and it's been stories told. In fact, I think it was last year, if my memory serves me correct, the Sunday morning country event at the Grand Ole Opry they do every year, which is a fantastic event. It's kind of like the end of CMA Fest. It really just pulls everything together on that too. And William Lee, last time we had talked about Joe, and definitely a huge memory for you, huge milestone, and one of the greatest artists of all time with one of the greatest groups out there. All right, so I'm gonna ask you about this because I do my homework here on the show if it hadn't been shown already. Long Black Train and Tony Jackson, y'all did it.
Yes,
you did.
Oh my God. I love Tony. Tony is one of my great friends. I mean, we just, because we both love that traditional country too. And he's always been so supportive of me. And so I reached out to him. I was like, "Okay, this is the song I want you to be on. Are you in or are you out?" And he's like, "Okay, yep, I want to do it with you." And we recorded that, and oh wow, it just turned out so incredible. And I'm very proud of that one. I'm proud of every one of them on there. Like there's not one that's the whole project is just from start to finish. I mean, Deborah Allen, that song, In the Garden, it just turned out beautiful. And then my friend Catherine Shipley, we did I'll Be There. And it just, every song on there, the gospel album, I'm just so proud of. But every album, it's kind of your baby. You put so much hard work into it, and putting it all together, and when it's finally finished and it gets out there to everybody to listen to, it's incredible to hear the feedback from it, or the songs that end up touching people, when you get those stories that are sent to you from people. That just means a lot.
This female group has been on fire. We saw the ACMs the other night, 7 trophies that she walked away with too.
Yes!
And I remember when I had her here on the show, Ellen Langley, I'm talking about there too, from everything that was choosing Texas to what she had done with Riley Green to Miranda Lambert, huge inspiration for her. What has that kind of felt like for you as a female artist to see some of these ladies like kicking ass in country music right now?
Oh, it's freaking awesome. I mean, I love, of course, I love all the, the guys too, but to see the girls really, I mean, they are just doing so amazing now. And I am I love Ella Langley, huge Ella Langley fan. Me and my little boy go around singing the songs all the time. So he is an Ella fella. So
Heard that
I'm a
one.
Langley lady and he's an Ella
Langley
fella. So
lady, Ella Fella. Well, I
yeah.
guess I got to be Ella Fella there. I'm with the gang there. There
Yeah,
when it comes down to it.
you gotta be the Ella fella. So, but yeah, man, I love her. I love anybody that
Mhm.
is their own artist and that can, that writes their songs and, they're not afraid to be that little bit different.
All right, walk me through in our final minutes here. Homesick, another great record. Hadn't got a chance
Yes.
to talk about. There's just so much to talk about. It's hard to cover it all in about 30 minutes. But another great selection of songs, another great body of work. Take me through this one a little bit.
Yeah, homesick. Oh my gosh, this was the one where, I've always worked with my producer Bill McDermott in
Mhm.
Nashville. I love him. I'm working he's the one that did my last album Beautifully Undone, this one that I just released. But homesick, I went with Kent Wells, Dolly Parton's
Mhm.
producer on this one. And I just wanted to challenge myself and just the direction of the songs because coming from Unleashed and the gospel album, I
Mhm.
wanted Homesick to have a different sound, and it did. I mean, oh my gosh, from Carolina Rain and Mama Said, all those songs, just it was what I was feeling at the time, just kind of really going back to my childhood growing up and who what made me the person I am today, and that's where those songs come from. And I always usually pick one song to do a cover of. And like I told you, I love some Southern rock,
Mhm.
and I have a little bit of that in my blood. And so I picked "Homesick," Atlanta Rhythm Section song to redo. And of course, we did a lot more like Travis Tritt, and
Mhm.
it just was jamming. It was awesome. I love how it turned out. Um, but that's another one. And the cover of the CD, it was pretty cool. I was in Bakersfield, California, staying with family, and actually the picture of me sitting on the car, that's Merle Haggard's old car.
Oh wow.
So that was a pretty cool thing. And the dog just happened to walk up into the picture and took the picture. I was like, oh man, this is like so cool. It turned out awesome. It had that homesick look to it.
Well, I love this record too, especially when you put it out from the acoustic side. It's beautifully undone acoustic across all the DSPs. Make sure you guys go download and stream across all your platforms that you listen to music out there, and check her out on social media. So I got to ask you, with all the food cravings, I've been on this fasting craving lately through lunch. Now with dinner time, it's kind of like fair game. It's whatever I can catch, whatever I can grab. And sushi and rice have done it for me lately. So for you in a household, do you enjoy the cooking aspect a few nights a week, or are you more of the, like myself, takeout and just go get it, bring it home, eat it,
Oh,
throw it away type deal?
well, it depends on if my husband's home, and he is home off the road. He actually was out with Ella a couple months
Mm-hmm.
ago, and but he's home now, and so
Mm-hmm.
I love to cook. I am one of those Southern cookers. I will bake the biscuits and the cornbread and have
Mm-hmm.
the big, like last night we had a huge roast and sliced tomatoes and potatoes and slaw and just a big old spread. So I love to cook. That's my love language.
The love language. I like that. How it's expressed, the love language out there. Now, speaking of that, Nashville's no shortage for restaurants and a test market for people that come into that particular area to see if it's going to work. I'm like, yeah, if you go to Nashville and the food's good, it's going to work because you're going to have it's a tourist town, and of course, a lot of
Oh
the things.
yeah. And he moved here to North
Mhm.
Carolina, and of course where we live in Shelby, North Carolina, which is
Yeah.
home of Don Gibson. There's hardly any restaurants here. He's like, honey, I miss the restaurants that are there. I thank God that you can cook because there's no restaurants here.
Now, when in Nashville, where do you guys like to eat? Where do you like to go out though?
Well, if we go to Nashville when we're there, I love, and I know this is crazy, but we don't have one here, but I love
Mhm.
Chewy's. Love Chewy's. And then there's a Japanese steakhouse that he'll take me to. Oh, and
Mhm.
J. Alexander's. We love there. They've got
Yep.
really good food. But I love Chewy's. We don't have one.
It's a good one there too. We got a bunch here in Texas, but I tell you, the funny thing is, you mentioned that Jay Alexander's with a couple of buddies meeting up when I got there, and that is some great. Now you're gonna spend a little dime when you go in there, but it's great food.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's on the special occasions.
Which is good there too. Let me ask you about. I've been back into this the cartoon stuff. I don't know. Of course, my little one likes watching it. We're getting into this. It's coming out as a movie. I think it's June 5th. So right there during CMA week, of Masters of the Universe, and we were huge, like the He-Man, the She-Ra stuff growing up.
She-Ra.
So for you, was it She-Ra? What are the cartoons? What did it for you?
It was She-Ra. I loved He-Man, but I loved She-Ra, Princess Adora. That was like my era. The Thundercats, the Smurfs. But yeah, it was She-Ra. I even had the crown, and I had the glow in the dark sword. I did. Princess Adora.
Yep. We started watching all those episodes again back on whatever it was. Prime had them, I think, out there too, and it was fun.
Yeah.
To catch up and watch all those again too. Filmation. I'll never forget it when it came across the thing and just made its little mark there too at the same time, and just some of the great cartoons. And you could tell it was it's 80s. Yeah, but it was actually just good, funny stuff out there, and good always was decided over evil. Yeah.
And I'll tell you that my son now, we were just talking about this yesterday. My son literally loves to watch the old Mickey, the old Popeye, all these, the Donald Ducks and all the older cartoons. I mean, better than he does today's cartoons for sure.
All right. So what goes on a Lee Newton pizza? What toppings?
Oh my gosh. Okay, I can tell you exactly. So I love ham, pineapple, olives, onions, and banana peppers.
Ooh, okay. It's an interesting concoction, but I think I would take a bite, maybe have me a slice or two. I could do that.
It's good. And on a burger, it has to have tons of jalapenos.
Okay, I could dig a burger with it. You could try that too. I will tell you this, because we get so busy there at CMA week, and you just gave me an idea, and I'm not sure if they'll let. Now, actually, we may have tried this one time, but I'm going to try this again. We get so busy sitting inside the MCC there, Music City Center, that we do the interviews, and it'd be nice to have just pizza delivered to us there as workers and the event. So,
hey, well, I won't be there. Are you going to be there on the 7th?
I'll be there actually for a whole week, June 2nd till about June
I'll be
8th
at the music. I do know that I'm at the Music City Center, so I'll be there.
See me.
I will.
Yeah, just make it an impromptu, because I always tell people, we got some things on the schedule, but you never. It's when the stars come out. You never know who you're going to run into that week.
Well, hey, you have some pizza too with some pineapple on. I'll be there.
You bring me food. You got an invitation to stay as long as you want to, because there's sometimes we've had to fast through lunch. And it's hard.
Oh gosh, man! And you got to have fuel. You have to have fuel.
You do. Well, I'm packing a cooler this year too at the same time, and putting some snacks in a little cooler with some drinks, and having a little fun with my crew there, my photographer Bailey, and of course with Roger out there too, my buddy Roger Barkley too. Well, I love this record. It's one of my favorites out there too, especially when it comes on the acoustic side too. She's very accomplished and polished out there. Beautifully undone acoustic across all the DSPs. Give her a like across all social media. Lee Newton out there too here on the Backstage Pass. Appreciate you stopping by, and hope to see you here in a few weeks.
Thank you so much, Brandon. I'll see you there.
You got it. Lee Newton out there across all the DSPs. We'll see each other at CMA week. Waka Flocka Flame. Yeah, easier for me to say out there too. Tyler Farr, and a whole lot more coming out there. Mark Will is going to stop by with us at CMA week, and a whole lot more. And guess what? One of Lee's favorites. We got her. Pam Tillis going to stop back by at CMA week coming up there. The week where the stars come out, it's the Backstage Pass, the award-nominated show, a grand slam of music, sports, entertainment, KYBN 98.1, your Bay Area Broadcasting Network, iHeartRadio, Spotify, anytime, the sportsguyspodcast.com. We'll see you soon. Take care. God bless, and happy CMA week to everybody out there. We'll see you soon.
What's up, y'all? This is Nashville recording artist Brooke Eden, and you're listening to the award-nominated Backstage Pass on KYBN 98.1. your Bay Area Broadcasting Network. Listen anytime on iHeart Podcasts and at thesportsguyspodcast.com and on thwn.org.